Well, hello and welcome to another episode of
The Movie Man.
That was delayed, man. You asleep at the wheel there, or what's going on?
No, I don't know. It's Monday.
Are you feeling okay? It's not Monday.
Oh, I don't know where I am. Let's continue.
So we are back. We're back to actually having a episode that was recorded at some point within 3 months of when we're releasing it.
We're back to our usual format of watching a movie, reviewing it, and doing our recommendations. No more pre-recorded episodes.
No more pre-record. I mean, it'll happen at some point. I think maybe over Christmas we might do that so that we can be up in the Alps with our loved ones and not have to worry about bandwidth and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's great to be back. I'm so excited. Do we have housekeeping, Pete?
We've got some housekeeping. So the first and foremost, this is our first recorded episode since we announced our 500 Podbean listens, and the post actually was nearly 600 listens in total. So we want to thank everyone, whether it's one person who listened 500 times or 500 people who listened by mistake once. We want to thank you for your listenership.
I'd like to personally thank all of the bots who aren't actual listeners and are just, scanning the internet for places to deposit viruses and are registering as listens anyways. Thank you, bots.
We appreciate it. It helps us.
Yeah.
But so the rest of the housekeeping, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, of course, obviously listen on Podbean. Support us on Patreon and send us a message via Facebook or the Movie Men Podcast at gmail.com.
No, don't email us. Don't do it. If you're going to get a hold of us, use Facebook. I mean,
if you want to email us, go ahead.
I guess. But know that we don't check our email near as often as we check Facebook. So if you're hoping for...
So don't email us for help, if there's a zombie coming and you need help.
Right, yeah. As far as emergency services go, email is not the way to acquire those services from us. But the links to all of those things are Facebook, Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, Podbean. You're on Podbean. But whatever. Those are all listed below. And Patreon, if you're one of our Patreon supporters who are paying $10 a month or more, first of all, thank you so much. Second of all, as you know, that entitles you to the show after the show, some bonus content, some us just kind of sitting around the mics, shooting the bull, and we'll talk a little bit more about the movie. We'll talk about just kind of some random movie stuff in general. Anyways, if you fall in that tier, your access to that content will be posted on the Patreon wall, there and there alone. So if you're looking for that, sign into your Patreon, and on the Movie Man podcast timeline wall, I don't know the terminology, the news feed thing, that's where that will be posted.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is that the end of the housekeeping?
That's pretty much it, I think. Aside,
well, there's one more.
Yeah, aside from the fact that, ironically, we're not alone in the universe.
Not nearly.
No. It turns out there's lots of planets with lots of different beings, and one of the beings from one of those planets is...
Honorary movie man, Carl Eastman.
Carl Eastman.
It's a trap!
It's a trap.
Welcome.
It's exciting to have Carl here. Carl's been mentioned in several episodes. Now, I won't be able to tell you. I know, I won't be able to tell you the number, but Carl will. Carl, how many episodes
3.
have you been mentioned in? All right, 3.
This one counts. I'm going to count this whole episode as 1, so that's 4.
Really? I was going to say this episode it counts for 2 or 3, but I guess it's like in Lord of the Rings when Legolas kills the elephant with extreme style and then slides down the trunk.
That still only counts as 1.
Still only counts as 1. So
yeah,
that's
disgruntled Gimli.
3% of the people listening got that reference and thought it was really funny. 2% have closed the browser and are never going to listen to us again. And the other 95% aren't even actually listening. It's just kind of on in the background, so it didn't really make a difference. Yeah.
Well,
so
what movie did we watch, guys?
yeah, we watched.
I watched Lion King 1.5.
Oh,
You
that's
moron.
it's the wrong film.
That wasn't the one?
I'm sorry.
Shoot. I missed that memo.
We watched a movie sort of strategically, sort of in anticipation for a big film event that's happening this December. That film event being Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. The last film, supposedly, in the Skywalker saga. And so we've decided to systematically work through all of the episodic Star Wars films, so excluding the animated films, the Star Wars Christmas special, and Rogue One and Solo. We may do Rogue One and Solo at some point down the road, but it's not really on the agenda between now and December. But we're going to work through all the rest, and we've decided to do it in order of release. That makes sense. It's debatable. There's a lot of debate out there. You can do it in order of release, in chronological order, or in like a chain. There's chainsaw order. There's a bunch of different variations. You can like pick and choose and do all kinds of stuff.
As many Star Wars fans as there are as many orders of what they think the movie should be watched in.
That is a fallacy. But we've decided to do it in order of release.
It's a true fact.
So yeah, A New Hope. A New Hope is the film that we originally just titled Star Wars.
Correct.
And then became A New Hope. Originally,
in our lifetime, it was always A New Hope.
In our lifetime, it was always A New Hope. Yes. And also always, not always Episode 4.
No, it was always Episode 4.
No, I think it was just Star Wars like in the original release.
For George Lucas, it was always the 4th episode, though. He always intended to make a prequel.
We'll get into that later. I'm not buying it.
I disagree, but there's so many rumors and stories, and there's 101 little crappy documentaries and all of this stuff. So it's all debatable. But right out of the gate, Carl, what is your impression of this film? Do you like this movie? Do you wish it was?
I love Star Wars.
Do you wish you were watching Sharknado instead? Like what? Where does that sort of fall?
I like Firefly, but I've always loved Star Wars.
Right.
I'm shaking my head.
Okay, so I think Firefly is a better universe, but Star Wars is a better trilogy movie.
Wow.
Franchise, because there's only one Firefly movie.
and
what does that tell you?
And really not a lot of Firefly toys, like merchandise wise. Star Wars is the crap, man. Not crap.
Star Wars wrote the book on that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some fun stories around that too.
Pete, do you like Star Wars?
So in general, obviously yes. When watching The New Hope or A New Hope, I'm wondering if this is. We won't get into right now, like, are the prequels better than the original 3? That's, like, many people have died over that. I just want to state, I think New Hope, and this is not anything groundbreaking, is my least favorite of the 3 original movies. There were some times where I'm like, this is a classic movie, but there were, like, some moments where I'm like, okay, I wish I was watching Empire, or I wish I was watching Return of the Jedi, but it's an important stepping stone first movie that is good. And obviously it's a classic.
I would agree in a lot of ways, and I would also say that having grown up, like I was born in 92, and Phantom Menace came out in 99, so there was a good 7 years there where I had Star Wars. Like I probably didn't really get into Star Wars until I was like, I must have been at least 5 or 6. So there was really only like a 3 or 4 year gap where I only had the original trilogy.
That's when most people start getting into it.
But at that time, I had seen all 3, and I definitely favored, as a kid, I think I favored Return of the Jedi, and my least favorite was A New Hope. And then even as the prequels started coming out, as a kid, A New Hope still remained my least favorite for a very long time. And I think really the reason, what it boils down to, is often we would go to the store, we would rent the VHS. Like as a kid, I was requesting, this is what I want us to rent. We'd rent Return of the Jedi, and I would go home and I would just fast forward and I would watch the last 30 minutes. I would want to see
the big finale.
I would want to see, and it wasn't even really the space battles. To me, the lightsaber
big fight
battles
between Vader and Luke.
Oh my gosh, that's what it was all about. And so, A New Hope is it's very limited in the lightsaber market, and what is there is a very clunky feeling. It's in the early stages of what it was in the early stages of figuring out sort of all the physics of the lightsaber within the Star Wars universe. Mark Hamill has said in an interview once that George Lucas's instruction to them on what the lightsaber was and how it behaved was that you had to keep two hands on it. Like they said, imagine when it's turned on, it's the same weight as like a medieval broadsword. Right. It's this big, heavy kind of, crazy thing, which is why they've always got two hands on it. And it's kind of
that explains so much.
Yeah, it's the sweeping back and forth motion. And so in the context of that interview, Mark Hamill was commenting on like lightsaber fights from the prequels. And he was saying like, that doesn't make sense. Like with what we were told, there's no way you could achieve that. Like that's just not, they're too heavy. But then you see them in the prequels and they're pretty much weightless.
Oh, they're just flipping them around like spaghetti noodles.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I'm curious I'm sure you guys know this, but there's actually like a guy who invented the lightsaber combat forms, and he's like the lightsaber fight coordinator for the movies. Okay, I'm wondering if he was not on the A New Hope,
or even any of the original trilogy.
No, he was definitely on Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Because there are screenshots of him working with Mark Hamill, and Mark Hamill's like covered in sweat, and they're both holding like the practice lightsabers. For coordinating it.
That makes sense because there's definitely a drop off between Empire, Jedi, New Hope, and then obviously a huge difference between the original three and the prequels as far as the lightsaber choreography and style.
So this film, it starts out and, it's kind of a slow start too. Like, I think that's another thing that, maybe from comparing it to the other Star Wars films, A New Hope's kind of got going against it because it needs to really establish a bunch of stuff before you can get into...
Sorry, how's it a slow start?
So I'll answer. Okay, Brady, do you mind if I answer, Brady?
I don't understand how it's a slow start.
I do mind.
So listen. Oh, then go ahead, and then I want to continue.
No, it's fine. It's okay. I get what you're saying. It starts, and there's the space battle, and there's
a huge battle. Like there's no conversation for like 5 minutes because they're attacking the ship. The ship gets drug up into the Star Destroyer.
Sure.
And then you got a whole bunch of people running around on Leia's ship, lining up, ready to take out the stormtroopers. The door blows open. Stormtroopers rush through. People dying.
Carl. Historically, it's the only time in space history that the stormtroopers are actually lethal. That they actually take out the people they're intending to and don't just shoot at walls and whatnot.
That's not true.
That is very true.
No, because they were easily recaptured the shield generator in Return of the Jedi.
So there's a whole theory on that.
There's a big theory behind why they're so bad in A New Hope. Have you never heard that theory?
No.
We're definitely getting into that.
That they're intentionally
doing
bad.
it on purpose.
Yeah.
Also, there's another theory that those stormtroopers. So, since we're on it, those stormtroopers that board that ship are the 501st Legion. Those in the New Republic, which is the original trilogy era. The original trilogy era, not prequels. The New Republic, it's those stormtroopers of the 501st are the only clone troopers left.
Right.
All clone troopers got transferred to the 501st at some point between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yep.
Because all stormtroopers now, or all new stormtroopers, are just guys
They're
named
either humans
Doug.
or clones from other dudes. They're
Yeah.
not Boba Fett clones.
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Or Jango Fett.
Jango Fett. Yeah. So
Yeah,
those 501st Legion are like the best of the best, and they're under Vader's control.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's
that's
just a
another
guy
reason
named.
those ones are supposed to be so good.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
Yeah. Most stormtroopers at this point are just a guy named Doug wanting to put food on the table for their family.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take this as an aside. Can we have a moment of silence for all the poor Empire stooges that got sucked? Because we all bully on Darth Vader for being an evil guy because he's bought into the system. But all the poor stooges that have just been like jobless for 6 months and they're like, honey, I guess I got to work for the Empire and put food on the table and get caught into this whole whirlwind. I felt bad because I feel there's at least one or two of those guys.
Have you seen the meme where it's a stormtrooper sitting on the side of his bed and his head's down and he's all depressed and he's like, I had friends on that Death Star. But no, anyways. So that's a big moment. I guess you're right. It starts out and it's got some pow.
It
right
starts
away.
out pretty quick.
But
for all the people that say Phantom Menace is slow because there's the pod race side story and whatnot, I fell asleep during that whole droids in the desert sequence. I was like, come on.
It starts fast and it gets slow because of the desert stuff.
Like the first time that you saw it, or just recently when we were watching it?
Using hyperbole today or when I watched it the other day, but I was like, this is getting a little long. Like, I don't need to see C-3PO bumbling around the desert for 6 hours. I mean, what does this add to my story? I'll make this argument. It would have been just as good of a story as if their pod, R2-D2 and C-3PO, had landed in Luke's backyard and said, hey, Uncle Owen, let's use these two droids, than having this whole being kidnapped by the Jawas and sold and wandering lost in the desert.
I don't know. I mean, during that process, we do get a lot of character development, and we do get a lot of the building blocks for the relationship between C-3PO and R2-D2. Arguably, some of the most important characters in the original trilogy and the prequels. They don't seem to matter
across
in
all the Star Wars
trilogy.
movie saga. They're the only ones that appear in every movie.
That's right.
Yeah. And and barely. I that's a whole, when we get to the sequel trilogy, we'll talk about that. But they're being grossly moved to the back burner, and that's very unfortunate. They even show up in Rogue One. Right? Like there's a scene where you're like, oh my God. But anyways. So I mean, I guess it picks up.
Yep.
And it's something I always confused me when I was younger. Not confused me, but was sort of like an odd there's more to this, is that to me this film's kind of got two climaxes.
Sure.
Right? So there's all the stuff that happens. There's the garbage compactor. There's Vader killing Obi-Wan. There's the whole escape from the Death Star, which when you're watching feels very climactic. It feels like this is this is the big escape, and one of our heroes dies, and it's it's whatever. And then there's a whole another 25 minutes where with the trench run and everything. So it kind of it's got a little bit of Return of the King syndrome there, where it's like, haha, it's an ending. No, wait, we're gonna give you another ending, but not as relentlessly as as Return of the King. You're watching Return of the King, and you're like, okay, this film actually ended 2.5 hours ago, and now it keeps fading out to black.
Pseudo climax is there for it's not a false thing. It's there to enhance the story. Right?
Oh, sure.
Give Luke more purpose to blow up the Death Star than, and kind of build on that. The Force is with him, building blocks.
Right. Oh, and he's angry and he's hurt. Right, like Obi-Wan, his family's dead now.
Yeah. Obi-Wan
is dead. Yeah, he doesn't really have. He's at a point where he doesn't really have anything to lose. Which acts as great motivation for him, because he's he's in it now. He's got nothing to return to. So he just kind
He's
of
lost his family. He's lost his mentor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's all or nothing at this point.
Yeah.
You know, which is awesome. I have a question. Which because we all watched this separately. Pete and I are no longer recording in the same room as previously discussed, and the reason why the last 2 episodes were episodes out of time. We live about 2 hours away from each other now. Carl lives in the same neighborhood as Pete, but they don't hang out when they don't need to, and so they still chose to watch the movies separately. What version did you guys watch? Because there's several versions of this movie.
Yeah. So I watched. We're looking at the box set I've got now. So I think it's the 1997 special edition version.
Okay.
That was released on the 20th anniversary of the original New Hope release.
Sure. And Carl, what one did you watch?
I unfortunately watched the DVD re-release, the most recent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and so did I. I watched the Blu-ray special edition up to date. Now, can we take a quick second? Actually, before we talk about the changes, Pete, why don't you hit us with some trivia?
Sure.
I've got a bunch of, we're going to talk about changes. We're going to talk about some facts, some fun little things that maybe you didn't know. And I'd hate to think that any of that would spoil some of your delectable trivia. So.
Oh, thank you. So some rules of thumb, because obviously we're going to have a wide range of listeners. So there's going to be the gurus or the Jedi, as you have it, like on the level of you and Carl, that will know these answers or that might know. So even if both of you know the answer immediately, just wait a couple seconds just so that the novice listeners can have a second to kind of rumble it in their head, okay?
Dude, I'm a Jedi master. What do you...
That's your takeaway?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm a Jedi master.
Master Alaskauskas.
Carl was a master, and then brought.
I'm more of a gray Jedi now.
Then he brought.
You live in a cave.
He brought Firefly into the mix, so he's been demoted to Jedi Knight.
Hey man, I still love Star Wars. I just like Firefly a little bit more.
And that's, honestly,
we don't judge you for it.
I don't judge you for that because I am a God-fearing man, and the Bible does talk about false teachers, and
we still need to love you. We just don't need to appreciate what you're saying.
I'll just school you in Star Wars knowledge and show you that I'm still better.
All right, let's get to it.
Bad things are going to come along, and you're going to think that they're really great, but that's really the devil at work in your heart, Carl.
Yeah. Okay, so the first question. So obviously this movie was released in the 70s, so that's a bit of...
True. Next question.
A part of this story. So main
character or just this movie?
Of A New Hope who have a speaking role.
How many sorry, say the question again. And a little more coherently this time.
Okay. How many female characters are in A New Hope that have a speaking role? And the fact that you have to think this hard about it is a little sexist.
I have my answer.
Okay. Carl, do you have an answer in mind?
Yep.
Okay. How many? You guys can say how many you think.
2. I think 3.
Okay. It is 2.
No.
So
yes.
Schooled.
Beru, Lars, and Princess Leia.
Yeah. You're thinking of Mom Martha.
She doesn't show up till the second one.
She doesn't show up till Jedi.
Correct. So that's
Jedi.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking. See, but that's tricky because there's 2 very similar scenes where we're like looking at Death Star plans, and we're like, okay, but it's the ugly dude in the first one.
So 1 point, Carl. Let's just keep track here.
All right.
But like when you think about it, in the whole trilogy, there are only 3 females with speaking parts, and 2 of them were in this movie. So,
well, Jedi's got the Twi'lek, and if you're watching the special editions after the VHS re-releases, there's also what's her name, Lips something,
the singing
in Jabba's palace
the singing
that sings.
Girl. But she doesn't talk.
She's technically
she sings.
A girl,
so I don't know.
She
that.
sings,
but she's technically being voiced by a female.
Are you assuming? Are you assuming gender?
No, I'm assuming. I'm
assuming she has no.
She's an alien.
She has no direct influence on the actual plot.
No.
True.
All right. Next question. So the phrase, so I have a bad feeling about this, is a recurring statement in these first 6 Skywalker saga films. Who uses the phrase in A New Hope? It's in every single movie. Which one is, who says it in A New Hope?
I know the answer.
Yeah, I've got my answer.
Okay, because Carl has been owning this, he has to go first.
What? No.
Carl.
Oh, okay. So
No, because then I'm just going to copy his answer.
Okay, Brady, you go first.
yeah, I definitely know the answer.
Okay. Brady?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
In in Empire.
I'm pointing on the cover of the box to of the movie to Pete so that I can't change my answer.
Yeah,
I'm not okay. Sure.
At first I thought my answer was going to be Han Solo, but
Okay.
He says it in Empire. I think that it's Obi-Wan.
And that's what I said.
Okay. So I am so happy to say I stumped both of you.
Oh, really? Is it Han?
It's actually 2 people. Luke says it on approach to the Death Star. He says, I've got a bad feeling about this. And then in the trash compactor, Han says it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, hey, yeah.
That's fine. This was
I guess the real Star Wars fans maybe got it at home, but
Yeah.
neither of you did.
wow. So I'm 0 for 3. I'm feeling really destroyed right now.
Have you seen these movies before, Brady?
I have.
Are you sure you watched it?
I live by these films. Okay, wait. To be fair,
Okay.
the second question was kind of a BS question. The second question isn't really a Star Wars knowledge question.
No, come on.
They're all kind of fringe questions because I knew you guys will, like, if I give you easy ones that most people would know, you guys would still hit out of the park because you guys know Star Wars. So they have to be
That's
fringe.
fine.
They
No,
have
continue
to be
on,
fringe.
Moof Milker.
Okay. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Brady, do you know who that is?
I do, yes.
Okay. So he's obviously played by Sir Alec Guinness in these 3 original movies, but is eventually played by Ewan McGregor in the prequel episodes 1 to 3. Ewan McGregor has a family connection to the original trilogy, however, in that his uncle plays a character. What character does Ewan McGregor's uncle play?
I do know this one.
Okay. Carl's
I'm gonna
thinking.
get stumped just because I can't remember.
That's all right.
But I've read it and heard it talked about it with people before.
Okay.
Let's give Carl a second.
I think that's fair because he is our guest.
Let's let him think.
Yeah, I'm letting him.
I'm horrible with names, so I'm not going to remember the name. Or
Oh,
whatever,
you don't need to know the actor's name.
Yeah, it's like a side. No, but it's like
sure.
a side. It's like a not important character.
You like Han Solo or something?
No, like he's not one of the main.
Okay.
He's not one of the main characters of the plot.
Sure.
I want to say he's like, just like a side fringe character, like
Is it my turn?
the guy who pulls the lever or the stormtrooper.
It feels
or
like my
guy who mops the floor in the Death Star.
Brady, do you want to give your guess?
Yes.
Admiral on the Death Star, you see his face.
Yeah.
So Carl is correct in the sense that he's not a main character.
Yep.
He's wrong in the sense that he thinks it's someone as small and insignificant as a lever puller. So
Right.
Ewan McGregor's uncle's name is Dennis Lawson,
Right.
who played Wedge
Correct.
Antilles in the
Wedge.
3
Yep.
original trilogy films.
Right.
Yep.
Which feels, I'm sorry, the fact that I knew
He doesn't even have an accent.
so.
So that doesn't mean he
Ian's got a huge, like a defining English accent.
as an actor. So there's
get-
so many things. Maybe he's married into the family and is an uncle. Maybe he isn't using his accent in the movie.
Also, might I point out that Ewan McGregor is a Scottish name, and he has a Scottish accent and not an English one.
Whatever. Shut up.
I want to deduct more points from Carl, but we'll just give one to Brady. There we go.
Just wait. Oh, so okay. Hang on. Just one when I knew both the actor and the character's name.
That's true. You knew actually the fact that you knew the actor's name. It was such a fringe name. I'm going to give you 2 points.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. I would have. That all I wanted was Wedge Antilles, but you gave me the actor's name, and that's impressive.
Slowly but surely closing that gap.
Yeah. Is a side note. Wedge was actually played by two actors in the movie. The first was on the set for one day and then got let go. He apparently, he said, has a line in the debriefing when they're like, "Oh, those torpedoes won't take down the Death Star or something."
No, you can't hit it. You can't. Hit
Yeah,
that. You
yeah.
need a targeting computer, and then
He was let go, and then
Lopez.
the actual actor who plays Wedge then was taken over, and then he was in all 3 movies. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
You give your line, and the director's just like, "That sucked. Get out of here.
don't bother coming back."
I don't know who hired you, but you're gone."
All right, so we've got one more question here. You guys might get this. I'm confident. In addition to Harrison Ford, who obviously got the role, who else auditioned for the role of Han Solo? And I'm going to give you 4 options, okay? So one
can
of
I
these
just
people
tell you?
auditioned.
Can I just tell you?
Nope. I have to give the listeners at home, for the fun of they need to have some options. And
Can I before you say it, can I Facebook you my answer?
Of course.
That way
That's
it
more
doesn't
than
feel
fun.
like I'm just,
Yep. You want to flex your muscles, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to list the options, and before I reveal it, I'm going to make sure you
We're
Facebook
picking
me.
one, or how many of the ones you say?
One of these 4
Okay.
auditioned, okay? So the first is Sylvester Stallone. The second, Brady, I hope you're listening, is Sean Connery.
Son of a bitch.
The third is Liam Neeson. And the fourth, Mel Gibson.
Oh, really? So we should point out that the actor I sent you wasn't listed, but did also
Fair.
screen test for Han Solo.
Fair. Yep. Because I'm sure there was more than 2, so that's a valid thing that you sent me that actor.
Yeah.
Right?
So what were the options? 'Cause
Yeah,
I just assumed I had it
Mr.
right.
Ego over here. So Sylvester Stallone, Sean Connery, Liam Neeson, and Mel Gibson. One of these 4 had an audition for Han Solo.
Okay, I've got my guess,
Connor?
but it is a guess.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I got a guess too. Yeah.
Okay.
Who goes first?
Sean Connery. No, it's not.
that's-
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah,
Sylvester Stallone.
that was my
That
guess.
was my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you said, read the question again.
In addition to Harrison Ford, who got the role, who else auditioned for the role of Han Solo?
But we were talking about this before we started the podcast, before we got a hold of Brady.
Yeah.
And Harrison Ford didn't actually audition.
No.
Well-
he was just reading.
He was called in for a reading for Princess Leia.
Yeah. And for Luke. And for Luke.
So that's kind of a trick question.
Yeah,
Who else was considered, for goodness sakes?
The wording is important.
Fair enough.
George Lucas had a relationship with Harrison Ford from working on American Graffiti together.
Do you know what he did on what his relationship was, Brady? Do you know what his job was?
No, but I haven't seen. Yeah, pulled the lever. I haven't seen American Graffiti, so
he wasn't an actor.
Oh, okay.
This was his first acting gig.
Yeah,
okay.
but we could tell by his craft what he did. Like if he did the backdrop or if he did the sound design, like I would know if it was Harrison Ford. So if I had seen American Graffiti, I could tell.
Yeah, I'd go, oh, Cameraman 2.
Oh, Cameraman 2 is Harrison Ford, obviously.
No, Harrison Ford was a set builder.
Oh, yeah, we would have known from seeing the movie.
Yeah, look at that.
Like, Carl, you're not listening.
No, you were alluding to it, and Brady, I don't think was catching on.
No, he was.
Oh.
I could tell.
But no, for sure. See, that makes sense too, because you'd be watching the film and you'd be going, I just get the sense
Yeah, that's
that
Harrison Ford's work.
I get the sense that when someone was building this set, they were unnecessarily grumpy.
Listen here.
Yeah,
Listen here, kid.
Listen here, princess.
I gotta build this damn set.
Yeah. So he was a set builder on
Cool.
Previous movies of
was
George
cool.
Lucas's.
Fair enough.
So I've got some. Let's talk about changes.
Sure.
So
Yeah, to the different editions of the movie.
yeah, throughout the years, how it's changed. Now the one that we
Where do you want to start with the first changes for the VHS?
I'm just it's just gonna kind of be sporadic here, like
Sure.
yeah. I'm not that I'm not that thought out. So the first change that we need to talk about is the Greedo scene.
Yeah,
It's had countless changes, throughout the years. You know, initially,
Do we know what the original was? Like, what was the original?
Han shot first.
Han shoots him first.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it didn't change with the VHS release. It really only changed with the DVD release.
Yeah.
No, I watched the VHS and I can attest Greedo shot first or shot simultaneously or what have you.
Yeah, so initially Han shoots first and then they change it and because initially I don't think Greedo shoots. Like in the original theatrical release, Greedo doesn't even shoot.
Yeah.
Han just ruthlessly guns him down, right? Like Han would.
Right.
Now...
Well, he's got his gun out. He's going to shoot him.
Yeah,
like it's not for show.
So then they sort of CGI in Greedo's arm, and Greedo shoots him clearly first. Okay. And then
shoots at him.
Over the years, throughout the different releases, they kind of edit it together. They kind of close the gap a little bit more with each release to make it seem a little more like a simultaneous shooting, but still very much like George was adamant. He wanted the impression.
He wanted Han Solo to be a good guy.
Yeah,
not
he was shooting in defense and not. Yeah.
Which I have two major issues with this.
Sure.
First is the character of Han Solo, and second's the character of Greedo. First, Han Solo. He's a scoundrel. He does whatever it takes to survive. Bounty hunters got him in a corner. Cornered animal bares teeth and bites. Yeah. Right? He's a scoundrel. That's what he does.
Right.
So I don't think that's outside of his character. He's not a good guy. He's an anti-hero, right? Second is Greedo. Greedo is supposed to be this well-known galactic bounty hunter.
Yeah.
If he shot first, how did he miss him so badly?
At point blank.
By like
range. 3 feet.
Like, yeah, especially on the DVD release. Like, you see the blaster bolt where it hits the wall beside Han's head.
That's true.
And it's like, it's at least a foot and a half away.
That's a very good point.
If he's a galactic bounty hunter that has been hired by Jabba the Hutt, is well known.
Greedo,
he's a horrible bounty hunter and deserved to die.
Have you considered enlisting as a stormtrooper? Because if we got a job for you,
that in my opinion, I think Han always shot first, and that's the only thing that makes sense.
Sure,
it's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
yeah.
If Greedo shot first, Han would have been dead.
So
that's the only thing that makes sense more than Greedo shot first, hit the wall, and then Han shot him.
Sure. So another change, and a very, very, very minor change, is the addition of A New Hope to the opening crawl. So when the film opened in 1977, the opening crawl began with the words, "It's a period of civil war." But when the film was re-released in 1981, Lucas added the title Episode 4, A New Hope to the top. So it wasn't until 1981 that it became Episode 4. So, worth whatever. Yeah. A more bigger and significant change was the re-edition of a scene that they shot and then left out of the theatrical edition and then added back in, and it doesn't make any sense. In these films, there are some good changes. There are some bad changes. They've gone through and they've cleaned up a lot of those.
You're talking about the Jabba the Hutt scene?
Yes.
Why doesn't it make sense?
Yeah.
Because so when the film's originally shot, right?
Yep.
And you can go online, you can go on YouTube, and you can find the footage of the original scene.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
It's shot with sort of a big, husky, Irish guy.
It's like a John Candy lookalike.
Yeah. And they kind of have the conversation and whatever, because Jabba the Hutt is after Han Solo, right? That's like a big overarching storyline throughout the and so, but it was cut out. It was cut out of the film. And then the first time that we end up seeing Jabba the Hutt is in Return of the Jedi, where he's been redesigned to sort of a big foam latex worm puppet alien guy.
It took like 6 people to run.
Yeah. And so they basically, in one of the re-releases, they took the footage, they CGI'd in not super well, CGI'd in Jabba the Hutt, and they had the conversation again. It is
1997.
All the aliens in the Mos Eisley scene were added in that, like, not all, but like
a lot.
When the speeder is moving through town, there's like a big dinosaur looking thing that was added in at that point.
What an ugly scene.
It definitely it definitely doesn't look seamless anymore.
No.
But yeah.
And they add, and in that shot, quickly in that shot of the Mos Eisley thing when they're walking through sort of the market area, they've added a lot of Jar Jar Binks-esque comedy.
Right.
A lot of sort of silly slapstick stuff that didn't need to be there. Anyways, so the big issue, the two big issues I have with the fact that Jabba the Hutt shows up in this, one is from a script standpoint, it doesn't make any sense. Because there's a moment where Han says, Jabba, you're a wonderful human being.
Yeah. That part, I didn't notice that until like quite recently. Yeah. I'm like, that doesn't make sense with the new edition.
No, but it did make sense when they shot it because he was a human being.
A human being, yeah.
So that didn't make any sense. Also, you before that scene got added, you spend 2 whole films hearing about Jabba the Hutt.
Yep.
Hearing about this guy who poses an issue. He's after us. He's got a lot of power. He's someone we don't want to piss off. But we don't ever get to see him. And
gang lord.
And it kind of builds this big anticipation for, this fear of the unknown, right?
Man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this kind of just dispels that. It goes, no, this is who he is. This is what he looks like.
Yeah.
We're not going to show you him again for another 2 films.
Yeah.
And he'll look much better in 2 films, even though it's older technology, So
visually he looks better, but like physically he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's put on a lot of weight.
It's been a rough few years looking for Han, okay?
He's gotten pretty lazy sitting in his palace.
He doesn't make house calls anymore.
CGI-wise, there's a couple of changes throughout the film that happen. Again, some don't really make a lot of sense. There's a shot where the stormtroopers are saying, there's footprints, 2 sets of tracks leading away from the pod. They might, and they've added some more CGI stormtroopers and whatever in the background. That's fine. That doesn't really, whatever. It wasn't necessary. It doesn't hurt anything. They CGI'd a big ass rock in front of R2-D2 when he's hiding from the Sand People, which again didn't seem super necessary. And really, while you're watching it,
a little more sense,
it makes a little more sense, except for the fact that I look at it and I go, the opening's too small now. How the hell did he get in there?
Yeah.
It's like this big massive rock that just sticks out. One thing that they did change to that scene, though, that is a lot more noticeable, excuse me, is the call of Obi-Wan.
Oh, the crate dragon call.
When he shows up, and each...
Did you guys know that's what that call was?
No.
A crate dragon?
No.
Yeah, a little bit of trivia there.
It's like this weird elephantine cry thing that happens, right? And in the original, he does make sound, but it's more like human-esque sound and more, whatever. Yeah. Whereas now it's like... And
which
you're like,
I don't
what is
appreciate.
that?
What's going on?
Like, what exactly is it supposed to, like...
It's supposed to be a crate dragon.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Which is like a massive little dragon.
But why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Tusken Raiders are afraid of crate dragons.
Yeah, so Mos Eisley, like we said, Mos Eisley gets a big makeover. They've added
Everybody's afraid of
dozens and dozens. Yeah, they've added dozens and dozens of stuff in there.
Yeah. One of the changes that I appreciated... and I thought added to, that it was added for the DVD release, was when they're on the Death Star after getting out of the trash compactor and they run into the stormtroopers.
Oh, they add a bunch
and Han
more.
Solo's like, get back to the ship. And then he turns the corner and he's chased them into a room full of stormtroopers. Instead of there being just like 10 more stormtroopers, it's like a hangar bay full of stormtroopers. So, that was really cool.
In the original, it's like a dead end hallway. There's basically like in a closet, and there's 4 guys that are running like an underground.
And the stormtroopers are like, "Why are we running away?" And they turn around and
they've got like a little discreet poker game happening in the broom closet, and they decide to chase them. But so those are really the big changes. They cleaned up the soundtrack. They fixed the lightsabers a little bit. There are still moments, even in the new special edition, there are scenes during the Obi-Wan and Vader fight where you can still see the metal rod. So it's still not well done.
When I was watching the movie, I was kind of texting Pete some things, and I was like, have you seen the fan-made Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader fight?
Right.
Oh yeah, they clean it up so much.
Oh, so they take shots from the original film, and then they do their own thing, and not only they kind of update the fighting because they clip in their own fight bits, and it just makes it look faster and more aggressive, and there's some one-handed stuff going on, and it just makes it look.
I guess what I agree. Like maybe they could have spent some of their time reamping that up instead of just like slapstick crap in Mos Eisley.
Yeah, totally.
Like really.
So I'm going to give you some real quick, just rapid fire fun facts. We don't need to really discuss them. You can kind of make a quick comment on each one, but there's quite a few here, so we'll just kind of go through them real quick. Okay.
Sure.
Star Wars opened in 32 theaters on May 25th, 1977. So not a lot of theaters, but was expanded to 43 over the premiere holiday weekend. The Star Wars budget was initially $10 million, but was boosted up to $11 to $12 million after it was completed. So I don't know if that additional was like marketing, I don't know, stuff like that.
As a side note, I read the budget for the 77 movie was actually almost equal to the budget of the 1997 special edition reboot.
Oh, wow.
So they clean it up and do all that stuff. They spend as much to add Jabba the Hutt and clean it up as the original movie.
That's really interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, it would have been a drop in the hat.
Oh, sure, for sure. Sure. At the 1978 Academy Awards, Star Wars took home 6 Oscars for Best Art Direction, Best Costume Design, Best Sound, Best Film Editing, Best Visual Effects, and Best Original Score.
I read this as well. I had no idea that it was that popular, and it was nominated for 10.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised.
Game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Han boasting that the Falcon's Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs was originally a writing mistake. So George Lucas mistook parsec for a unit of time, which makes no sense because parsec actually measures distance. Now, so they've explained that away in Solo.
It's not distance anymore. Oh, I haven't seen Solo. Do they explain it in Solo?
You haven't seen Solo?
I haven't.
I don't want to watch Solo. Yeah. I'm not interested. I know who Han is. I don't care where he came from.
It's good. It's worth watching at least once.
All right, it's on Netflix. Good. I can watch it for free.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it once.
Maybe.
But basically,
maybe Pete and I'll groan through it after this.
So they still explain it is a measure of distance. But it was achieved by how close he flew to wormholes and stuff. So he was actually able to complete it in a shorter distance by bending reality and,
Yeah. So the way I've understood it from reading from Legends and now canon stuff from Disney is that it's like the Kessel Run was like a trip from point A to point B, but a parsec was every time you would jump to essentially like jump to hyperspace. So most people would have to make several jumps to hyperspace in order to safely get around it. But Han like just jumped right through it, taking 12 parsecs, which would like, I guess, I don't know how much fewer than the original trip, but yeah, he did it dangerous and with fewer jumps kind of thing.
Right.
Okay.
Which you do see in Solo. You see the Kessel Run.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so stuff like that is fun. It's got, kind of a fun.
Yeah.
Darth Vader, the name Darth Vader, has simple origins. Darth is a variation of the word dark, and Vader is a variation of the word father. So literally right out of the gate, he was telling us, by the way, Darth Vader is Daddy-O. He's Daddy-O, yeah. James Earl Jones was picked to voice Vader due to his deep voice. Was paid a total of $7,500 for his 2-hour work.
Wow.
But I mean, this is $75 or 75. This is $7,500 in 1970.
77.
Yeah, well, they probably did his voice work in 76, right? Lucas used vintage newsreel footage of actual World War II dogfights to help him choreograph his space battles.
Interesting. Yeah.
I knew that. Yeah.
Sir Alec Guinness once famously declared Star Wars as fairy tale rubbish. Alec Guinness really did not like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which is
I
maybe
didn't know
disheartening for people
recently
to hear. But he
was not a...
No, he did not stand behind the thing at all. Guinness negotiated the best deal of all the main cast members, receiving 2.5% of the profits of the movie, which came to $3.3 million back then. Estimated to have made him $60 million over the years from this deal. Not bad for rubbish.
No kidding. That rubbish pays your bills, son.
Yeah. While shooting the trash compactor scene, Mark Hamill held his breath so long that he popped a blood vessel in the side of his face. Lucas had to adjust framing while shooting the rest of the scene to avoid showing the dark mark.
And just to jump back, I did do a calculation for the inflation. So $7,500 for James Earl Jones in 77 approximately would be about 30 grand in today's terms.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I mean...
For 2 hours work?
Still, for 2 hours work, that's okay. I mean, comparative to what that movie made, he didn't cash in on that
How much
movie.
did Vin Diesel make for doing Groot?
Too much.
Yeah. What else do I have here that's kind of interesting? Chewbacca's growl is the blend of a bear, lion, walrus, and badger.
And he's based off George Lucas's dog.
Yeah.
Oh, Indiana.
R2-D2's voice was created using synthesizer loops matched with beeps, tweets, and boops, patterned after infant coos performed by Bert himself. So what's interesting is the decision to make R2-D2 beep and whistle came in post-production. So while filming the movie, R2-D2, and there is footage of this out there too, R2-D2 actually just speaks with a human voice and curses a lot. So any of the moments where C-3PO, where R2 goes beep, 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 boop, and C-3PO goes, watch your mouth, R2. And we go, oh, that's cute. That's kind of a funny, whimsical. No. R2 was actually cussing. He was
a foul-mouthed little droid.
Wow.
Yeah. Darth Vader's sinister breathing was recorded by sticking a microphone inside of a scuba tank regulator. The Tusken Raider yowl is a cocktail of mule sounds and people imitating mule sounds. You know, which sounds more like a walrus to me. But
right. And can I say, as a side on Tusken Raiders, I never made this connection, but I read it when I was planning for today, that the Tusken Raiders attacking Luke, in a way, is like a vengeance on his father just annihilating a whole town.
Yeah.
Like, I feel there's something poetic in what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was just, and it was good.
There's some good canon around the Tusken Raiders fearing Anakin Skywalker this like demon with a blue blade.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's some good canon in that.
I bet.
There's comics and stuff. There's because one Tusken Raider survived to tell the story.
Old Chuck.
And so like Darth Vader is like feared as this dark, sinister, faceless demon with blue blade that slaughtered an entire Tusken Raider camp.
Which, I mean, he mostly did because of his mom, but also because they were taking shots at him in the pod race.
Hey, you know what? They shot first. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. The famous lightsaber buzzing whoosh was made by blending the hum of a 35 millimeter film projector and passing a broken microphone cable by the tubes of an old TV set. Which is really cool.
Yeah. The sound production guys on these movies, like, went out of his way to find the craziest stuff.
Oh yeah.
I seen a documentary once, and he was like, you know those big tower electrical towers that got the cables, support cables.
Yep.
I've seen a documentary where he's like out recording, like smacking that with like a metal bar and recording the reverberating sound of the wire. Woo.
Oh yeah.
And using that for stuff for the sound of like engines and things.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Star
super
Wars.
creative.
Star Wars used to have a really stupid title.
You know, that's not a surprise.
The opening title originally was Adventures of the Starkiller as taken from the Journal of the Whills, Saga 1, The Star Wars.
Featuring Jar Jar Binks.
Like, that's awful. Because, originally Luke's character's original name was Starkiller.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Which they've returned to once in the Force Unleashed video game series. They have a character there named Starkiller, who is Vader's secret apprentice. And then on top of that, in the sequel trilogy, we have Starkiller Base. So they've kind of paid homage to that, quite nicely. It was the ex-wife of George Lucas, his wife at the time, who made the decision to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks,
She's awful.
lady.
Lucas didn't allow Carrie Fisher to wear a bra during her scenes.
I did read that.
Yeah. Fisher, the actress who portrayed Leia, was planning on wearing a bra underneath her costume, but Lucas didn't allow it because he said that there was no underwear in space. So Fisher didn't wear a bra, but taped her breasts down to cover it up more. Yeah. It must have been
the
really...
70s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
50% of your female actors are not allowed to wear underwear.
The word Wookiee was coined years before filming the movie. When Lucas was working with Terry McGovern in THX, McGovern said, "I think I ran over a Wookiee back there." Lucas asked what a Wookiee was, and McGovern admitted that he had made up the word. So, for what that's,
Wookiees used to look like
this one's
different too.
This one's awful. And this is the second last one, but this is, Kenny Baker was a 3'8" actor who played R2-D2 and has admitted that there were times where the cast and crew broke for lunch and forgot that he was in there.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
That'd be so
That's
bad.
horrible. That's so mean.
Oh, poor guy.
And also, quite historically, Kenny Baker and Anthony Daniels, who plays C-3PO, aren't friends. Like they didn't really get along. So that was also interesting. And this is the final one, when directing his actors how to act, Lucas would often, usually only tell them, be faster and more intense.
Wow.
It's good direction.
It's like he just...
But if you
he
think
looked
about
in the
it...
dictionary and just found two words and just used them
If
over
you think
again.
about it, and
He's
the next...
not a great director.
When we sit down to watch Empire, think about that. Think about, the direction for this scene was faster and more intense.
Yeah.
So
he's got an ingenious mind for creativity and business, but he's not a great director.
Oh, a genius mind. Like really, he in a lot of ways, George Lucas set out to do something that hadn't really been done since Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings.
Well, so business wise, he owned, and Lucasfilm owned all merchandising rights to Star Wars.
Well, yeah.
Do you know how he got those rights from the studio?
No.
He put all his directorial financing.
Oh, wow.
So I think it was between A New Hope and because Fox did A New Hope and Paramount did Empire Strikes Back, and in that George took it to Paramount, and he said, I'll give up my
You mean Fox?
a lot of my directorial.
Fox, not Paramount.
Yeah. Did it go from Paramount to Fox?
Regardless,
Either way,
he gave up his directorial rights.
He gave up his the finances, like the pay.
Yeah.
To say, I'll do this. You cut this pay and give me all the rights. And like the foolish morons they were, they're like, that is the best deal ever, and they signed on the dotted line almost immediately, not foreseeing how merchandising can be effective.
But it's not that foolish. Like if 20 years ago I said, hey, I'll sign you over all the rights to Instagram or something, someone would have jumped all over that deal, be like, Instagram, what's this crap? I mean, at the time, merchandising rights for like toys and action figures at the time was just dead in the water.
Not really.
Yes,
they were.
Star Wars revolutionized the toy industry.
No, because at that time you've got pretty much every TV kids show cartoon was created to sell toys. Transformers, He-Man,
but
they were all created to sell toys.
But Star Wars totally re-envisioned the landscape.
For movies,
right?
Probably
for sure.
But like, I'm just saying this because like George Lucas saw the potential in his movie.
Right.
He saw what could come of it, and the impact it could have, not just cinematically but culturally.
Yeah.
And he believed in it so much he gave up a lot of money.
Yeah.
For in the present, because he knew he'd make more money in the future on selling toys.
But I'm arguing that it was dumb luck because the coin flipped in a way that it worked out, but it wasn't a sure thing.
I think the studio saw, what the studio saw was immediate return. They saw, we're gonna make money right away, and we're gonna make guaranteed money. And we're going to make money that we don't need to put any more work into. We don't need to have toys designed. We don't need to market toys. We don't need to do any of that. And, so I can see why the studio did it, but I mean, it definitely didn't serve them in the long run.
It didn't work out.
Right? Yeah. Like, and because at the end of the day, that was a big part of, like, when Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney, he sold it for like $4.5 billion.
Yeah.
Which I think
and
we
he gave
often
away
don't
half
realize.
Of that money to charity.
Yeah, we often don't realize exact, like 4.5 billion.
Exactly. It was at least half.
To the Jar Jar Binks Foundation.
To the Jar Jar Binks Foundation.
Making dreams come true.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But is there anything else really? Like, I mean, there's so much you could talk about Star Wars all day.
So three things. One, I am in the camp. There's obviously, I alluded to this first. There's everything from, George Lucas wrote like a 10,000 page script, but decided to just focus on the first third of it and make the first movie. And then if things went well, he'd make the next 2 chapters. Everything to then, you know what, that's BS. He just made it as a standalone movie, and then when it was so successful, he kind of rewrote the book and went on as kind of kept writing it as he went along. That's what I think it was. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that he had this huge, massive storyline arc planned out. I don't buy it.
So what I've read. Sure. There's a couple of things that you can't.
And obviously, he's going to say, "Oh, I had the plan from the beginning."
Well, so the story that I knew growing up, was that was exactly what Carl said. The story I knew was that he originally he decided to make episode 4 first because he because of the fact that in episode 4 the galaxy is very run down and it's not this lush beautiful place, and effects wise and cost wise, A New Hope was going to be the cheapest film to make. So it was the most obtainable.
Filming the Clone Wars saga, that's a lot of he didn't have the money or the manpower or the visual effects to do
anything. So since then, either in interviews from George or documentaries or articles or whatever, I've heard that that's kind of not really true. When he made Star Wars, he kind of maybe had an idea about where he wanted to go, and that he did certainly put a lot of thought into backstory, and that he had built a universe in his mind, but that he didn't. He didn't have it fleshed out. He didn't have it fleshed out. He didn't really have a set. Oh, there's going to be 3 prequels. Oh, there's going to be all this stuff. But it is worth noting that Phantom Menace comes out in 1999.
Yep.
By 1981, the opening crawl of A New Hope does say Episode 4. So I would say that it's probably somewhere in the middle. I don't think when he made A New Hope that he had a plan, that he had a solid plan. I don't think he was thinking very far past, I need to get this damn thing made and I need to not go bankrupt in the process.
He needed to get his vision out there and get people excited about it before he could start long-term planning.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that doesn't mean he didn't have long-term plans.
I would say definitely by the time that he was working on definitely by the time he was starting to work on Return of the Jedi, he knew what he wanted the backstory to really be. But even still, like I saw, I've seen footage, sort of not candid footage, but there was a documentary about the Phantom Menace that I watched the other day. And in it, Lucas is sitting down at Skywalker Ranch, his house. And it's like 1992 or 93 at this point. And he's sitting down with a pen and paper to start writing Phantom Menace. And he doesn't really know where to start or what to do.
Right.
So, it's those things that...
maybe the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
So, Carl, out of 10, what would you give this film?
I'm scoring it, eh? Let's see.
Well, I mean, you're our guest of honor. You're the guy that knows all of the...
Well, I don't have a system
You
like
won the
Pete.
trivia. I mean...
But not technically we tied. You got 2 or
True.
3, I got 3.
True. And you know what? You know what?
I got some out of my own trivia if we want to put you and Pete up against each other.
Oh, sure.
Anyway, I'd probably give it a, let's say, 8.5.
8.5. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pete?
Even with all the extra changes from the VHS re-release and the DVD re-release, then yeah.
I'm somewhere close to that, probably an 8 or an 8.10, so definitely within it was worth
10?
Or sorry, 8.8. 8 and 8.8. Yeah, that
Isn't
doesn't make sense.
8.10 9?
9? Yeah, no. Somewhere between 8 and 8.8. So definitely worth the price of admission if I saw it in theater.
Oh yeah, I'd love to go see this in theaters. Even if it was the special edition re-release.
Yeah. Brady, what would you rank this, Brady?
I would put it like a 7.9. Doesn't quite reach 8 for me. And that's mostly because, I'm leaving room for the other Star Wars movies that I like more.
Sure.
In giving it that rating. Carl, why don't we do your trivia in the after show?
Okay, sure, that'd be fun.
The Patreon bonus content show.
That's right. That's a good idea.
Yeah, thanks. Once in a blue moon that happens.
Yeah.
So that leads us to me asking you a very very serious question, Pete.
Sure.
What did you watch this week? Or actually, in the 2 week, like we haven't recorded in like 2 weeks because we had like some backlogged episodes. So what have your eyes been a viewing?
It's been a bit of a hiatus. I had a very relaxing couple of weeks. I read a book.
Ooh. Is that your
It's not my recommendation.
Tell Brady to do is read a book
but
watch a movie?
It was a nice contrast to all the movies we watched. It was just a change of pace.
Yeah,
but
what book did you read?
Start looking for different podcast employment if I were you.
An indie writer, if you've heard of him. His name is C.S. Lewis.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Small up and comer.
Anything I've known of?
Maybe I read. It was one of his science fiction novels.
Science fiction. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Voyage to Venus.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. It was good. But in all seriousness, movies that I saw. So I didn't watch a ton, but I watched a few. So I'll just list the top 3. I watched Dunkirk. Wasn't the best Christopher Nolan movie, but it was decent.
Okay.
I watched Dazed and Confused, which is a classic coming-of-age movie, apparently. And it has Matthew McConaughey. All right.
All right.
Oh, that's
what
Matthew
is
calling
happening?
right now, actually. Matthew, we can't talk right now. Yeah, it actually, Dazed and Confused was a little disappointing, I'm not going to lie. About halfway through, I was just checking the clock every 10 minutes, wishing it was over, but I watched it. And the third movie I'm going to say I watched was the live-action Aladdin.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good movie. I saw that in theaters.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, it was not that good.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
I'm going to tell you what I liked. What I liked was every scene with Will Smith in it. And it honestly was reminiscent of Hitch. It felt like Hitch 2 with every scene he was in, because he was kind of like the romance coach to Aladdin. Like, oh, don't do this, do that. And then every scene Will Smith was not in, I found just dragged. And I just found boring.
Really?
And the comparison I'm going to make, when I saw the live-action Lion King, obviously the cartoon Lion King is better, but it's very much 1A, 1B. Like, they're very close. Mm-hmm. The Aladdin cartoon, to me, is fantastic. There's a huge drop off between the live action and it felt a little too comic-y. The Jafar wasn't as menacing.
Right. Definitely not.
He definitely wasn't as scary.
So there was just a lot of things that I didn't enjoy it as much. I loved the Will Smith. I'm going to rename the live action Aladdin Hitch 2. And for that element I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also watched
So, and then I watched that movie you recommended to me called Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Right.
Oh. Yeah, it got me in the feels.
Right. Did you tear up?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
At different points. What an incredibly powerful story. Just
you literally literally go from thinking
he's a very cool guy.
Yeah, you literally go from thinking he was kind of strange and the show was kind of low budget, like the show wasn't all that great. And like, I don't know, to watching the movie and thinking this man was this man's amazing.
When you realize the man's underlying motivations, and you realize, because there's some people that you realize, okay, their 9 to 5 persona on television isn't what they are in real life. This guy wore his heart on his sleeve. That's who he was. He had the well-being of the children of the nation on his conscience.
Yeah. And well, not just the children, anybody he met. I've heard stories that like he would meet some random stranger on the street and he would very intentionally want to get to know them. And if like he found out when their birthday was,
oh my goodness,
he would send them birthday cards every year.
That's so awesome. I'm not surprised.
Like,
yeah.
I met you once at a party. You found out when my birthday was, and you sent me a birthday card.
Right.
Who does that?
Right.
How nice of a guy are you that you
and it just
care that much about people?
It bleeds through in his being, because I didn't realize. For those who haven't seen the documentary, watch it, people. There was a point where the funding of the show was in jeopardy, and he went up against. Like, he was talking to a senator or someone in Congress.
He appeared before Congress to talk to Congress a few times.
And there's this bulldog, and like he just like gave a sincere speech from the heart, and the guy's like, "Yeah, you got your funding. Here's the X $1 million.
Here's your $20 million. Yeah,
yeah." And it's like, what? Like, wow.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing.
I gave the movie an 8.8 out of 10, but I'm gonna say it's flawed because my system doesn't really take into account documentaries. So
It's not as good as Star Wars.
No, well, there's certain things like plot, like character development, or like just that don't apply for documentaries. So it's a flawed ranking, but it was a really good movie, or a documentary, a really good documentary, totally worth the view. I can't wait to watch the Tom Hanks movie that's coming out this fall about Rogers.
Yeah, that should be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brady, what did you watch in these past? Seems like a long time, but weeks, I guess.
I watched a couple. I watched the movie Free Willy.
The number one.
Yeah, like the original Free Willy.
Oh man, what a classic!
And it was my first viewing.
Okay, what is wrong with you? What is
how
Brady Alaskauskas?
That's not.
If you were here, I'd be slapping you across the head.
I just again.
You've seen Homeward Bound, but you never saw Free Willy.
We didn't. We owned Homeward Bound. We didn't own Free Willy.
Oh,
so you're blaming your parents?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Lisa, it's yours if you're listening.
Child abuse. I also watched the movie Toys, which is a Robin Williams movie.
That. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen. I don't think I've seen that.
No.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's too bad.
Go on.
Because it's good.
He just searched toys in Google, and Toys R Us came up. Oh yeah, I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yeah. I watched Hitman's Bodyguard with
that's also a good movie.
Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, that's funny.
I watched Justice League.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Crickets.
Not seen it.
Good for you.
Here's the reason I watched Justice League. I watched Justice League because my girlfriend has not seen Justice League, and I have not seen Aquaman or Shazam, and I've heard really good things about Aquaman. I've heard incredible things about Shazam.
I've heard the contrary to Shazam.
Really? Yeah, no, I've heard really good things.
I've heard mixed things about Shazam. Okay. Aquaman is good. It's really campy.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of campy heroism type stuff in it, but it's a good fun ride.
For some reason, I've heard a lot of reviews from middle-aged soccer moms about Aquaman, and I don't know why.
Something Momoa is important.
Shirtless scenes. You're right.
Yeah. It's mimosas. I think women like
mimosas.
Yeah,
mimosas were in it. Right, they drink it while drinking mimosas.
Mimosas.
Right. They drink it while drinking mimosas. They watch it while drinking mimosas.
Yeah.
I need a mimosa.
So I watched it. Because I mean, regardless of the hot trash that the film is, it's got Batman in it, and so that's a redeeming quality right there. And Superman is dead for most of it, which is also a redeem. No, I'm just kidding. Whoa. I'm gonna get hate mail from our previous guest, Emily Mader. She's a big. Yeah, she named.
That's exactly what I was thinking when you said that.
They named both of their children after Superman universe characters.
Yeah.
The next one I watched was The Founder with Michael Keaton, the McDonald's.
That's a good movie.
Story.
Interesting movie. Yeah.
And then summed all that up with some movie about drumming. I don't know.
Whiplash.
Yes, that one. Yeah.
But you didn't like it?
No, it was good.
I was about to rage quit this podcast if you didn't like that movie.
Yeah. A side note though, even though it's not my recommendation for you, check out crap. What is it called? Is it Drumline? I think it's Drumline. Drumline. Clink, clink, clink. The keys go. Drumline. Yes, Drumline is
I've seen that movie.
It's got Nick Cannon in it. It's a 2002 drumming movie.
That.
And it's pretty good.
It's all right.
Pretty good.
And you're talking about that just in relation to Whiplash?
Drumline is like a sports movie without sports.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you have anything to talk about Whiplash? Because I want to mention a couple things.
No, just that I liked it. I would give it probably I wasn't blown away by it. To me, it's not like it's not a classic. I'd say 7.5.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you why I gave it a much higher 10 out of 10.
Wow.
So
yeah, I'm looking at it on his computer here, and
Carl
I'm a little
needs to remember,
astounded.
this isn't. There's some movies like I don't think it's better than New Hope. I just think on my rating scale, it was a better made movie.
You need
in
to
all
make
the categories.
you need to make a version of your rating scale available for other people to use and understand. Because that doesn't make. I'm looking at this at 10 out of 10, and it doesn't make sense to me compared to Star Wars.
Maybe. But it does. So let me just tell you why. So I like this movie, Whiplash, because of its realism, its intensity, and its captivating characters. I like that it explores the concept of someone, an individual, giving it their all, but that not necessarily translating into success, or at least not the success that he originally intended to get. I specifically still get chills in that final scene, which, as a side note, J.K. Simmons is amazing, and he won an Oscar for this. I still get chills in that final performance when there's the build-up and they look at each other and nod, and then he points to the drummer and it just ends the movie. I get like tingles in my spine. But I think it's so good.
That's the spinal bifida.
The reason I think it's so well done, because it won several Oscars and it was done well, but it's such a contrast to the dime a dozen movies about some stupid child prodigy who picks up a saxophone on the side of the road and is the next smooth jazz hero. And he practices once every 6 months, and everyone's like, wow, this prodigy's amazing. This movie is about someone who plays the drums till his hands are bleeding, and still his instructor, his protege, says, "No, you suck. You're off beat.
Oh man,
get out. Sit down. You've just been in a car accident. Get out of my studio. I don't want to look at you." Like it. I love how real it is, how gritty it is, and it's just such a contrast to that garbage that every other prodigy movie is about.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because if I remember Drumline right, that's exactly Drumline.
I googled Drumline, and I'm telling you, I will never watch it.
It's literally about a drumming prodigy.
No. Whiplash is so real. I love Whiplash. I could watch that movie like once a year.
Oh man, he's gonna watch Drumline and absolutely tear it apart.
Have a seizure.
This is my prediction. Pete will give Drumline a 0.
Oh dear.
That is all.
Oh man, that's funny.
Okay, well,
So I'm serious about
what is your
system.
recommendation?
I want to see
to
how
me?
it works.
We'll get into that in the bonus stuff.
So my recommendation for you is toys.
Toys, okay.
Yeah.
My recommendation to you is I've got another quote unquote movie. I'm not even going to tell you what it is, but there's.
You're not going to tell me what the movie is? How am I going to watch it?
You've got to just watch a bunch of movies and I'll tell you if you hit it.
I just have to watch every Jake Gyllenhaal film?
It's not. I said it involves Gyllenhaal, but it's not Jake.
Oh, it's his sister.
It's his sister.
What's her name?
Batman's mistress.
Yeah, well, Batman's mistress in the second and third one, or just second one. She dies.
Just the second. Whoa, plot ruiner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the movie's called The Kindergarten Teacher, and just watch it, and we'll talk about it next week.
Doesn't that star Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that
that's Kindergarten Cop?
Isn't that a better film? Where
it is a better film.
It probably is, but I still want you to watch Kindergarten Teacher.
I sat through the first podcast listening to Brady talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was like, if I knew what that's what this podcast would be about, I would have been there. I would have been all over talking about Arnold. Anyway, side note.
So just a spoiler for me then, is the difference between Kindergarten Cop and Kindergarten Teacher that in Kindergarten Teacher it turns out it is a tumor?
I haven't seen Kindergarten Cop, so I don't know the reference.
I own it on VHS.
Can I borrow
I'm coming over later.
Okay.
Yeah.
VHS?
Yeah, I do. I have it on VHS.
You're over now.
I think it's on Netflix. I
don't have it on
It's
me.
on Netflix. I can watch it there.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. So Kindergarten Teacher, and you're going to watch Toys.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. Sounds good.
Well, should we wrap it up?
Do you want to know what I watched?
Not really. No.
Yeah.
I watched Star Wars.
Did you? Did you watch anything
Yeah.
else?
Cool.
A few weeks ago, I watched Christopher Robin.
Ooh, with Ewan McGregor.
Ian McGregor, Star Wars tie-in.
Yes.
Yeah, so
That
good.
was so good. I was really, really pleasantly happy with that movie. So warm and tingly with Pooh playing the watching game on the tree, rock. I'm like, oh, Pooh, you're amazing. You're such a lovable character.
To me, the moment
they hit all the notes perfectly in that movie, I think.
Right. To me, the moment in that movie that just like set it over the top for me is when Pooh wants a red balloon. And Christopher Robin says, "You don't need a red balloon." And Pooh goes, "No, but I would really like one.
It would make me happy.
Make me very happy." I can't do it, Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, that was still really good.
All the scenes where they come to life and somebody realizes it and all chaos breaks loose.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, did you see that bear talk?
Yeah.
It's a stuffed bear. Stuffed bears don't talk.
Okay. Well,
that is a good movie.
Carl, who would you like to give a shout out to?
I'm going to shout out my wife who doesn't like your show.
Ooh.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. But she's awesome because she's my wife.
Hang on.
So
hold the phone.
She doesn't listen to any podcast, so it's not a take on you. It's just
well, that's not the way you presented it. You just said she hates your show specifically.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, she's listened to an episode of your show.
That's nice.
So she's given it a shot. She hasn't given other podcasts any shots.
Which episode was that?
The first one.
No, that's not even our best.
Yeah,
no,
she needs to listen to. Yeah,
she'll listen to this one. I would hope.
I hope so.
Well, we'll find out.
I'll find out.
Support your man.
Yeah.
And Carl.
When or if she hears my my shout out.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for being an honorary.
Hang on.
Wait,
can I give you guys a recommendation? I've been thinking about this since you said you'd have me on the show.
Sure. I'm not sure if we want to set this tone.
So there's a actor who I love all his work, and he's in a lot of stuff, but not as a main character,
Nicolas
a
Cage.
side character.
Rob
He
Schneider.
plays little minor roles.
Nicolas Cage.
He was in all three, either the first two or all three of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Mans. He's had a few TV shows. He's had several movies, B movies, where he's starred in them.
Willem Dafoe.
The most famous of which would be Evil Dead. So Bruce Campbell is like probably one of my top 5 favorite actors.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get you to watch one of his starring roles called Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Do you
want me to
VHS?
kind of give you a little? I don't have it on VHS. You'll have to find it and watch it. But
oh my goodness,
Bubba Hotep is about Elvis Presley in a retirement home. Nobody believes he's Elvis Presley. They just think he's senile because he swapped his identity with an impersonator because he wanted some peace of mind from the press. And then this impersonator died. And then so the rest of the movie, the whole movie is Elvis Presley and some African American in a wheelchair who thinks he's John F. Kennedy fighting a mummy.
That actually
who's
sounds
sucking
amazing.
The souls of the rest of the citizens in the retirement
I
home.
laughed at first, and now that I'm reading the description, I actually kind of want to watch it.
It's such an awesome, Bruce Campbell's movies are B movies, but they're like, we know we're a B movie, so we're just going to go over the top.
So
and they're awesome.
In Spider-Man, does he play the concierge at the theater, who's don't come in?
Yes, in the second one.
He's
and
so
in the
good.
first one, he's the ring announcer that's like,
right,
Spider person.
Yeah.
That's a stupid name. Yeah. And then he announces him as Spider-Man.
Okay,
so,
I do like this guy.
Bruce Campbell's an amazing actor. He doesn't get enough credit, I think, and his B movies that he stars in are amazing. Cool. So Bubba Hotep is my recommendation to you guys. And if you have time, also check out Bruce Almighty, where he plays a fictional version of himself, and he fights a Chinese demon god of cheese curds.
Huh. I'm less likely to watch that one.
Correct.
Yeah, they're both hilarious.
Yeah.
But Bubba Hotep is definitely the better of the two.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds
well,
good.
Carl, thank you for being an honorary movie man.
Can I go to the bathroom now?
Much.
No.
Ah, dang.
You didn't bring a bottle?
Pete didn't tell me.
Oh, okay. So
thanks for having me, guys. This is fun.
Awesome.
So thanks a lot. Stay tuned next week. We are going to be going back to doing one of our vote episodes. So that's exciting. And then the following week we'll do another Star Wars, and we'll kind of flip-flop back and forth like a bunch of wishy-washy losers. So,
Yeah. I often was, when I was preparing for this episode, I often was wondering, are we winners because we're doing a podcast on Star Wars, or are we losers because we're literally sitting in a basement, in a cold, damp basement, talking about Star Wars? And I can't discern an answer.
Well, I'm actually
you're placing your value on the wrong things, Pete.
Yeah, I mean,
you should place your value on the fact that you know lots about Star Wars, and that is a win.
Yeah, okay. I'm currently at our new studio, and which is really frustrating because they're just hanging the Movie Men sign out front, and they're like, it's loud. So, but progress.
Yeah.
So well,
thanks for listening, everyone.
Unless you didn't, in which case, thanks anyways.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for nothing.